Like, what are correspondences of green tea? What are correspondences of potato? Potato magic. Welcome to the second episode of my witchy YouTube channel. Today we're gonna talk about tips for beginner witches. I've just finished writing the blog post about that topic, and you can find the link in the description box. My first tip is that you shouldn't worry about anything at the beginning. I know how daunting it is and how overwhelming it can be to find yourself in this magical world full of correspondences and people telling you different things and finding what works and what doesn't. Like, it's a huge world and it's highly subjective, so it's very difficult to find an common correspondences that suit for everyone. What I recommend doing is to find trusted books and basically doing research from various topics. Remember that everyone on the internet has their own subjective information about witchcraft, so it's important to focus on how does it feel in you, what is your resonance with that different sentences, and like how do you feel about the things that you research. The second advice I can give you is start writing down everything that you learn. No matter if it's small, or no matter if you're like, I'm not gonna use it in the future, just write it down. Because one thing, it's good to have reference for the further studies and for the remembrance, but the second thing is like when you start experiencing different mystical experiences, I guess, you want to have it noted somewhere. Like, for example, dream work. It's a beautiful tool, and if you write your dreams every day, then you're gonna remember them more and more, and it's gonna be a part of your magical practice. The same can go for tarot spreads, for your meditation results, for visualizations, for anything that comes and enlightens you, because it's great to come back after a while to all of these thoughts and emotions that you went through and see how you've changed. If I was starting again, I would definitely put the emphasis on starting to write about my journey, even though I have plenty of notebooks, and it's like I think the downside of my life is just wanting to write about everything. But third advice that I can give to you is you don't need to spend a lot of money to start. I know it's tempting to find the most beautiful chalice and wand and have altar full of expensive crystals, but that's not what you need. What you need to focus more is your like personal development, psychic development, mental development, a schedule for workings, a schedule to work with the moon and with the nature and with what you have available already around you. So, for example, you can go foraging, you can find plenty of beautiful plants that grow in your area and are just like waiting for you to pick it up. And you can go on the walk near the beach, find the beautiful stones and then sand and water and feathers, shells. Everything can be used in magic. You don't have to spend anything for it. If you're on the budget, you can do a lot. The tip number 4, I guess, is to research the thing that you already have. So I think maybe you've started collecting some herbs or crystals. I think it's good to start research from what you already have. Let's say you use rosemary, basil, mint, bay leaves. Research these fruits, because that's what you already have. Like, what are correspondences of green tea? What are correspondences of potato? Potato magic. You know, there is so many things that you can already research, and you don't have to worry about anything to obtain. The tip number 5 is to start small. Find literally one topic every month to research and then go from there, because when you start like putting so much onto yourself, you're more likely to burn out or stop your journey, or just find it too difficult to move ahead and prospect in the way you want. So start small, start today, and focus on what you already have. Now, another tip for you is that I'm gonna tell you about, I guess, 3 things that are very universal and can be a substitute for other items in magic. First of all, clear quartz is such a great and universal stone that amplifies any energy that you put into it and can transmit it afterwards. There's something like piezoelectricity. I don't quote me on that, I'm not sure how you spell this word, but quartz crystals have the ability to transform the energies into different energies. That's why they're highly used in things such as watches, radios, anything that has to do with technology nowadays. It's based on crystals. Ha. Another thing is to use rosemary. Like, that's the one herb that can substitute anything and you're working. So what you do is, like, let's say you need a mandrake root and you're like, oh, I don't have mandrake root. Think how it is, like research a little bit about mandrake and try to feel its energy, and then you just put your hands like above the rosemary and transfer this energy into it. And since it's a universal herb, it will just embrace this power that you just poured from yourself into it and transform into what you need as in a spell. The universal color is white. It's a white candle. If you need any candle, just go for white, and any spell can be done with this. I used to color my candles if I didn't have a specific color, but it didn't work so well. So I just like recommend using your visualization. And coming to the next tip, I think it's very important, is your intention. And intention is a specific outcome you want to achieve in your magic. So I like to focus on different areas of my life, see the balance. I created something like Witch's Wheel of Life, and that's gonna be available in my upcoming workbook for beginner witches. So in this wheel you have, I think, 12 areas of your life that you can focus on, and according to that, like, you see where is the balance between everywhere and how you feel in certain ways. So I think intention should be linked with one of those fields. So like, let's say health or relationships or finances or like your outside environment, family. Everything is really important and everything can be your intention. But for it to work better, just let it be very specific. Another tip for you: when you take anything from the nature and you keep on taking and taking, that creates imbalance in the universe. So I highly recommend give something instead and keep this harmony between getting and giving. Whenever I take something from the nature, I always come to the plant and I'm like, dear rose, can I pick something from you? And if I feel like this rose wants to sacrifice its flowers to give it to me, then I'm like, okay, thank you. But sometimes I feel like the plant doesn't want to be touched. Like I feel restriction inside of me, and I know that this is that I shouldn't take anything from it. So I just like go find another rose bush or find another plant to forage. But I also found it recently that you can give something instead, and my idea is to ground some eggshells and use it as a fertilizer and as a gratitude towards the plants. So whenever I pick something and forage from the forest or from the nature, I want to give it like a little sprinkle of this grounded eggshells. It's a great fertilizer. It has calcium and extra nutrients for the plants, so I think they're gonna be grateful for it. I think that would be all my tips for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, and since I'm just starting out, if you subscribe, that would be awesome. Thank you so much, and I wish you a blissful rest of the day. Bye!